Oh, I think you can hear me now. I'm not sure. I'll pull you in close. What's up? How the hell you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Mm-hmm. All messages. I keep setting these settings and they keep changing. Right? All right. So like I said, let's move in closer. We'll talk about some things. Yeah. Okay. And we'll talk birth chart. Yeah, you're so far away. It's all right. We'll deal with it. All right. So the title is Understanding Birth Chart is Knowing How to Live Your Life. And, you know, I kind of always believed in that, but I just didn't put a lot of time into it because if you look at like the graphics of your birth chart, it's just stupidly confusing, right? It's hard to understand because you got all these squiggly lines and all this other stuff, right? Right. Planets, asteroids, all this stuff combined. It's hard to read, so I kind of never really got into it as much as I should have. But recently, obviously, I did some studying and some learning, so I'm here to share that with you. So, how do you go about getting your birth chart? Well, I'm going to introduce you to a website that is fantastically free. Okay, free. And it's called Cafe Astrology. Let's get it. So this website, this one right here, this one is where you need to go to get your birth chart. Okay. So they have a quick link in here. Make sure that you check. See, this one says https / blah, blah, no www. So you need to be careful of those ones because it's not going to give you the correct IP address, website you're looking for, whatever. All right. So we do the www too, right? So we're going to hit that up and it looks like this. Okay. This is the website you're going to go to. This is going to help you understand your birth chart and it's all free. Okay. I've done this before. And you know, what was weird about me is that when I had my birth certificate, guess fucking what? It had no time on it. How do you get a birth certificate without a time on it? I mean, the date, all that, my parents, whatever, no time. So then years later, I had to go and get a official long form birth certificate. And guess what? Showed my time. So on this website, you're going to go in and you're going to just get onto what's called your natal chart. And all these reports are free. And it's very interesting because it has a lot of stuff to check out, right? But this is where you really need to go to get to understanding who and how the hell you are and what do you even do? How do you operate? You know, all this stuff. Because we just wander through life kind of like dum dee dum dum dum. And right at the top, how to obtain my natal chart. Scroll down, bing bong boom. And then you're going to get it. Okay. So then once you get in there, you are going to, you're going to obviously put your name and your birthday. Okay. And so when you do that, it's going to ask you for the time of your birth and the place of your birth. Like not my mom's house, but you know, basically what city you're born in. Okay. And so when you do that, you just plug in your time of your birth. Okay, let's just pop it up. Come on. Okay, see, this is it keeps jacking it up here. So give me 1 second. It's being a punk. But you're going to be amazed at when you correctly understand what the chart says about you. Oh my God. This is like kicking my ass right now. What is the deal? There it is. Free natal chart. Oh my God. All damn day. Okay, so basically it looks like this. You type in your name, all this information, bing, bang, boom, there it is, right? And this is like, what's going on, that guy? Ishmael, how's it going? So this here, I'm gonna plug it in for you, but I'm not gonna give you all my deets, right? I'm not gonna give you all the deets because I just want you guys to understand some things that I'm gonna tell you. Before I knew this, I knew myself, but not as well as I do now knowing this. What do I mean by that? I mean, this is, we're going to talk about how your personality is when you're by yourself, how your personality is when you're in a group of people. What else? We're going to talk about how you see yourself, how you portray yourself to others. I mean, this thing goes into mad details about you because it's going to align on the this is why your birth time and the place is very important to put in here. Because you need to know where you are in the world, because the sun is like a clock, okay, going around the stars. Okay, so the stars is the clock, the constellations, and the sun is like the hour hand. Okay, so every hour that sun goes around and around, right? And it has to be in a specific place for the specific planetary alignments. Okay, so you could do a general, I don't know my birth date, let's plug it in here. I mean your birth time, and kapow, right? It's going to pop up everything as far as all the planets, all the constellations. I think you're getting that part a little bit, all right? But it gets really tricky when it gets into looking at it. Because like I said, these little squiggly lines and all that stuff, it's crazy. It's hard to get, hard to understand. Offset time, -4. Okay. So this is officially my chart. You see it real quick. Don't take any screenshots. I'll bust you up. Okay. So I want to give you this example of how this blew my mind into getting a better understanding of who I am and how I operate. Okay. So we're going off the tropical zodiac. Okay. This gets so deep. There's so many avenues of this here. It's not even funny. I mean, it goes into your houses. So your first house, second house, third house, 12 houses, right? So right here, according to this, it says my sun sign is a Libra, and it gives the exact coordinates of where the sun was with being in the constellation of Libra. So we're going to get into this a little bit deeper here. I'm not going to get into all these. Obviously, Libra natives are thought to be sociable, somewhat intellectual souls. They have an almost innocent way about them that makes them very approachable, generally quiet, eager to cooperate. And Libras spend a lot of time trying not to rock the boat. Okay, I think that's a pretty good general idea of Libras. Okay, but here's what I really want to put into perspective here, because obviously I'm here on YouTube, right? I do my YouTube channel for you guys. And I'm pretty outgoing. You know, what you see here is what I am here at home. There's nothing different about me with that. Okay. So a lot of people, they don't understand some things. And I just wanted to tune this into you guys so then you could see exactly what I'm talking about. But it's Cafe Astrology, and it's the free natal chart that's going to help you understand what this is all about. Okay. So let me just scroll quicker than this little arrow is allowing me, because I want to find exactly what I want to tell you. Because I have to go through all the signs, all, like Saturn, or the planet, and where is that planet in relation to the constellation. Okay. So when you look up these things, you're going to be able to see more detail about yourself. So if you've seen my channel, obviously, because you're here, you've seen some of the things that I do, the life coaching stuff, the tarot stuff, but you also see that I do a lot of that political, in your face, you need to tell truth shit, right? So here, I just wanted to share with y'all that my Neptune, the planet Neptune, is in Sagittarius. So what it says, your vision of an ideal world may center around the truth, tolerance, freedom, liberty, curiosity, and intellectual understanding. You may idolize truth, justice, and the power of positive thinking. Your optimism is a breath of fresh air, but may at times be taken so far that you are somewhat blind to the practical side of an endeavor, or your goals and ideas are set too high and it can be challenging to reach them. Fantasizing about something better is your escape. Your openness is mystical, and alternative interpretations of life is refreshing. Now, you cannot tell me that what I just read to you is not how I'm perpetrating my channel, because that's who I am. What's up, Fred? What's going on? So, yeah, the understanding of who you are, what you're about, is limited to what you think that you know about yourself. But here I am giving you a gem to really get into the idea of digging deep into you and what you're about. Yeah. Pretty, okay, so your desire for security may be strong in that it eludes you, since security can only come when you let go of limiting dependencies and instinct. Commit to craving out that life reflects a genuine feeling of responsibility to yourself and others. So that is my North Node, which is in Capricorn, okay? So yes, I do have a tendency of this security breach deal and long for that, because most everybody in my life has abandoned me. True story. So when you're abandoned by your parents, by your siblings, by your friends, by your lovers, by your wife, husband, you will definitely cling on to that kind of idea of having security. Okay. So when you find these things out, it's going to dig into Uranus, the planet, so you see deeper of who you are. And when you do that, let me tell you something. It changes the whole perspective of the way that you see yourself. Completely. I knew I had abandonment issues, but I was working through them and helping you guys and all this other shit. And then I read this, and then I'm like, oh my God, there's so much more that I could do to learn to understand myself in this way, because now I know more of the insecurities and more of the reason of the solid foundation of these roots that I have to grow with. You know what I'm saying? And that's tricky, because a lot of people don't want to look at themselves. A lot of people don't want to look at themselves. So in order to really truly see yourself for who you are, then you need to accept that. Okay, I'm gonna share another one with you. This is the sun is in my 10th house. Okay, so it says the sun's house position modifies and refines its position by a zodiac sign. I already explained that. With the sun in your 10th house, the urge to work toward a goal for success and accomplishment and or for power is an essential part of your makeup. I knew I was driven. Obviously, you see me producing a lot of videos. That's just natural for me. It's normal for me. I get these downloads and put them out for you guys. Some of them are just funny jokes, whatever. Some are real things that you need to learn and listen. But now that I see that it is very much a part of my makeup being in the 10th house for the sun. And it says you are uncomfortable in any position in which you must take orders from someone else. Wow. That speaks for itself. Ambitious, like over-identify. Like there's so many different things that I didn't understand about these certain placements. I mean, I grew up with this stuff. I kind of learned it early, you know. I just never really dug into it deep enough to really dissect it. But now when I'm aligning the planets, because the planets have its own influence, same with the zodiac signs, right? So if you are aware of those things and you understand, like in tarot, what the sun means, the sun card means what? Happiness, joy, blah, 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 right? Then you'll now know that, have that in your back pocket. So then when you find out where the sun is in what constellation, so could be in Taurus, it could be in Libra, it could be in Gemini. I mean, it all depends. Okay. So for me, my Mercury, which is the planet of communication, is in Taurus. So I'm very grounded and stable and very dedicated in my communication to not really break character. You know what I mean? Because the Taurus is very grounded, very stable, very abundant, very family orientated. And so when you look at that, and then you add that to the planet Mercury, which is the rules of communication, then you know how you're going to talk to people with a smooth, easy, grounded, stable kind of way. And people may always be like, oh man, you're so easy to talk to. And you know that, but you don't know why or how. So when you get on this cafe astrology and you get your free natal chart done, those precise pinpoint moments are going to be reckonings for you. They're going to be huge awakenings for you. And trust me, probably going to want to sit down for it because it is pretty heavy. To sit there and say, well, I knew something about this with me, but wow, now I can really see how I am and how I act or whatever. You know? So 12 planets, 12 constellations, line them up. That's the first easiest way to go about it. When you get into the, you know, your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 12th house, well, then, you know, it gets a little more tricky because, you know, then you get in some asteroids in there. You know, I guess they're not quite a planet like Pluto or whatever, but they're still floating around. So then they're an influence. So let's just say the sun was over in Texas. So the sun was high noon above Texas. So, you know, Mercury was just like 2 degrees off. Venus was like 5 degrees off. You see what I'm saying? So it's all like an alignment system of the stars, as above, so below, because you're below. And those stars, planets, constellations are reflecting you up there to you down here in the 3D. In the 3D. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, it is a 1,000,000,000%, trillion, billion, quadrillion % accurate. who you are. And then now I can see why these people, oh, you like my laptop? Yeti freak. Yeah, these people want to hide some things from you. What am I talking about, Willis Cannon? What's up, Cannon? I'm talking about your astrology natal chart. That's right, your natal chart, your birth chart. That's what I'm extrapolating here for you. You like hiding things too? Well, that's great. Whatever you're talking about, Willis, I'm not hiding anything. So don't go anywhere stupid. All right, let me get a drink real quick, my friends. Let me keep talking about this. So if you are conscious, you understand that anything that has been good for us has been hidden, concealed, taken away. Drink water. I already have. Pissing all day. So I got some sweet tea. Right. So, okay. So now when, I hear these things about the realizations of understanding your birth chart and how important that is, because it's going to help you understand you. There's a lot of stuff in that. You're exactly right. But, we do purge it out with all the extra water. So when you understand this, it's a revelation. And then when you're going to see and hear things about how, astrology isn't really recognized by science, even though they freaking study the plants and all this stuff, it's like, oh my God, we can see that. Yeah, no water's so good, man. Chill out. That we see that these people hide these very, very important things from us because they're going to help you understand yourself. And then when you do that, now the cat's out of the bag. The cat's out of the bag. Don't be spamming my comments, friend. Take it easy. Take it easy. And then now you have one up on them because now you understand their tactic of hiding or vilifying or whatever you want to call it, your valuable information, I want to call it. Okay. Then you can use that to your advantage. Okay. Knowledge is power. So when you're understanding yourself, then you know how to approach the world in a better, more grounded, rational way. Okay. Tarot is great, dude. It's just like a guide. A lot of the tarot on YouTube is so bunk that it is just so blasphemous. And don't forget, we have a lot of angels, but there's also a lot of demons. Okay, so you're going to have to see those things. Just like I'm teaching you here about this astrology. Like, you need to know this. Get off the tarot, get on your natal chart, understand it. Because it's going to put a whole bunch of perspective into your reality. Just like, example, we had Trump come in as president. I'm not getting political in any way, but RFK came in and said, let's clean up the food that we eat, right? So the list of foods that they actually did tests on to find out that was really bad for us, more than what we already knew, was astonishing. I mean, dude, an Oreo cookie, like, okay, McDonald's, man, that shit doesn't rot. How good is that for your body? It's not really at all. Not really at all. Okay. Chill out, Cannon. I appreciate you being up in here, but now you're starting to piss me off. Because I asked you not to spam my comments, and now you want me to do fucking RFK impersonations? How about a JFK for you? So this is what I mean. if you didn't know yourself well enough in these situations because you're learning yourself, then you would handle that clown in a different way. So I'm going to do what I know that I can do. Scared little boy. Oh, look at you with your big words over there. Well, come to my house and I'll show you how scared I am. If I didn't understand my Scorpio side, because that's my ascending, I could have been just living in this live with this guy being a clown on purpose, talking about doing RFK impersonation. What do you think this is? A fucking comedy show, you joker? I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. But these people, they don't know how to stop themselves, so you have to do it yourself. And yeah, we sometimes don't want to do that because a lot of these people, they're not even worth it. True. I mean, they are in their own human form, but their attitudes and mentalities are just disgusting. So obviously they don't learn themselves because their immaturity, their lack of respect is something they don't understand, which is probably something they never even learned. I know. Thank you, John. You're amazing. Thank you for saying that. Appreciate you helping me out here. You know, and it's true. People are so immature, but they don't know why they're immature. And it's probably because their parents are mature, and then it just runs in the bloodline. Right? So if you want to know why you do things and why certain things happen the way they are, because you can't understand. Like for my family, right? My whole family's Catholic, but me, I was raised Southern Baptist, and nobody could tell me why. I asked my aunts and this and that, and nobody gives two craps to tell me. So it's very difficult. Yeah, so it is challenging. It is difficult, you know, but we try to do the best for the limited information that we're allowed, or that's condemned or looked down upon. You know, like people, they diss spirituality because they don't understand it, but they don't really realize that spirituality is part of the definition of religion. It's even in the Bible about spirituality and the gifts that we have that are given from God. So if we don't, you know, if we're not reading these things, if we're not, you know, we're just going what Google says, then we're stupid, because then we're just believing whatever the devil feeds us. I never like Google anyways, because it's a damn monopoly for one, and for two, like who do they think they are that they can run the world the way they do? And if you know what I'm talking about, I just seen this video about some you know, they do those tech shows. You come up and you're like, oh, look at my new keyboard, you can try it out, da, da, da. Right? It's all crazy stuff like that. Yeah, it is written by man, but it's also narrative. It's a narrative of people that were in that time frame around the people that they're writing about. So not all of it's twisted. But these tech shows, I seen a little video about Google. You know what they got going on now? It's worse than AI, man. They're taking your consciousness, so all your memories, all your visions, all your dreams, and all the thoughts that you have in your brain, and they're feeding it into this computer that can actually take that consciousness memory chip and put it in, they said, what was it? A synthetic, I don't quote me if it was an organism or not. I think I heard sleeve, a synthetic sleeve. So they're basically saying that you can take your brain and your memories and you can put it into a fake body and be a completely different person. I mean, dude, okay, the Roomba is cool to like vacuum. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to be like, hey, Google, what's the weather tomorrow? You know, shit like that. Well, gas hurt me. I got to remember to put that mic on mute when I'm talking because Google just jumps right in. But this whole idea that no one seems to really catch on to, and this is all part of this, is because if I'm not understanding the information, then I'm not growing and I'm not actually having a more decisive choice in the way I live my life. Okay? So I don't want AI to be running the show. I don't want cryptocurrency. It's hard enough to keep your phone safe, never mind your Wi-Fi. And sure, let's all put our money in this fake bank shit and have fake money. For what, a hacker go and jack it? Come on. So now how is it going to be with these automated systems where these AIs are already getting out of control and self-replicating and avoiding the self-delete button? So now Google wants to take, I just made a video, so go on my playlist in my shorts. It's like 3 or 4 videos down, and you'll see it says Google Human Services or some shit like that. So what I think here, what we're doing with TikTok and YouTube, and everybody's all, go live, go live, go live, go live. Why? Because 1, that's an energy draw. For 2, you're continually feeding your consciousness to this machine. That is what they're taking. And now they're going to transform it into a machine to convert it into a silicone suit. So now you can walk around as a different person, but have the same intellect and mindset. That's outrageous. That is blasphemy. So we could talk about that all day long, but I just want to remind people that, sure, like I said, the Roomba is cool. These automated door locks, all the shit's cool, but it's easily overtaken, especially if someone's running AI. Ain't nothing safe. But the point is this. If we're complacent in not understanding what's before us, then we are susceptible to falling prey to an automatic default of conceding. And I'm not a conceder, obviously, if I popped off a couple of my natal chart houses and signs and things like that. Okay. I'm not down for it. It's blasphemy. And I think that definitely it needs to be stopped. It needs to be stopped. I mean, let's go back into history. What happened? The flood. Okay, so we'll go on the Bible side. There's the Bible says the flood. Why? Because the Nephilim were eating the humans, because they ate everything and destroyed the whole earth pretty much. And so now God said, this is too much because you're ruining everything. So we're going to wipe everybody out. That's the Bible version. Now we'll go back further than that to the Sumerian texts, or well, I wouldn't say further than that, but ancient times, ancient Sumeria, which is in Iraq. They have these stone tablets, and there are little markings on there, and that's their language. And it's written about the Anunnaki, who were the ones that were supposed to be creators and all that shit. And that's just the devil recreating the Bible and blaspheming God. Okay, so if you go with the Anunnaki side, who said, okay, we built these humans to mine the gold, now we got the gold, now these people are useless to us because they're noisy and they're getting smarter than us, so then let's just wipe them out. And they did. So whatever side you take, either way, it goes against creation. We are not to replicate ourselves. We are not to be better than God, because God made us. Who are we to make ourselves? And this is what we're doing. This is what Google's doing. Look at Google's little sign. You got 666 in that bitch. That's why YouTube, they promote all the fear, all the tarot. It's like, oh my God, you're cursed. And oh my God, you got people stalking you and all this crazy, scary shit. Stupid. And then you got dumbass videos of people just sitting there looking at a fan, and that gets like 2 million views. Like, I can't understand the mentality of people. But it all boils down to learning yourself, understanding yourself. Because if you're hungry, there you go, my friend. Yeah. Because if you're hungry, then you're going to get up and get something to eat. But if you're hungry and you know you didn't have a fridge to get something to eat, then you can't just get up and walk away to go get something to eat, can you? So that's the fine line I'm trying to say here. So you want to know your personality? You want to know your deep, darkest secrets that you keep to yourself, but you can't quite figure out why? Because all the mind-numbing stuff keeps you in this loop, of sucking your consciousness dry. Well, it's probably because you got the prick. Okay? And there's word about that too, that now there's a new classification of humans that had the prick. They're called Homo Borgialis or some shit. I'm good with doctoral terms, okay? I speak plain English. Cyborgs. Because those RNA shots that y'all got have that nanotechnology in it. And they're going to be able to control your brain, stop your heart, whatever. I'm good. I never had to get it. I said, no way I ain't getting it. So I really, really hope that you guys can see what I'm talking about, because I know I talk in a lot of metaphors. I know I talk in a lot of strange ways that are too intellectual for people to really understand, mostly. But y'all that are been here know that what I say is straight up hardline truth. What's going on with this? You're homeless? Where are you at, USA? What's going on with that, USA? Talk about that. I just seen you in the comments. I'm sorry about your dad. All right. Well, the USA, let's not get too personal on here, because people are just intellectual thieves, and I don't want them stealing your story or even coming to haunt you. So earthly divine intuitive tarot at gmail.com. Email me USA, and we'll talk about this, because I don't like seeing that I'm reading that you're homeless and you don't have a thing and your dad died. It's horrible. So my assessment on this whole reality we live in now is they want you to be stupid. They want you to be dumbed down. They want you're not funny. And don't be making fun of people, man. That's not cool. Because I've been homeless, fool. See, that's the ignorance. You guys are just mean. You're evil and you're mean. And you have no soul. Your heart is black. And you need to find Jesus. For real. You need to find some Jesus. You need to find some compassion. Your mom didn't hug you too many times. Well, neither did mine. But I don't go around here jaw-jacking people and make them feel like shit when they already are feeling like shit. You piece of shit. What state? USA. Boo. Alabama, damn, that's far. Well, not that far from Texas, but with no transportation or funds, you're stuck. We'll figure it out, though. Email me. Email me, earthlyintuitivetarot.com. Alabama, USA. Email me. Okay? Do so. All right. So, creep out my house again. I love the creepers. I tell you, I'll run up that bitch real fast, strapped, dude, and be like, what you trying to do up in my yard? as you're creeping by my house. You're trying to steal my Wi-Fi, some shit. I don't give a fuck. I protect my privacy and my peace big time, people. Because you need to. Thank you, USA. So give me a little time on this live here, and then email me or just write it as you're watching, and I want to hear the rest of your story. Because I know what it's like. And I might be in a position to help you out. And no T, you're not getting $45 because you're not homeless. Punk. Can't believe you said that. It's so wrong. That's my thing, man. I don't like, that's part of my chart, man. Understanding, you know? I ain't got time for those games. Like I like to say I'm the ego crusher because I'll stomp on your ego quicker than you could take a shit. Because it's not cool. It's not right to treat people the way that they've been treated. And I think it's just because there's something wrong with the person, maybe chemically, maybe mentally, but I think it's just emotionally. Like I said, they didn't get hugs as they were kids, so they don't know what that feels like. So we react differently. We go through life according to that lack of, you know. And so when we understand ourselves better, then we can see where those things come from. And it's a deeper root than your parents, because then it goes to their parents and then their parents. So now we're talking about generational curses. And the generational curse is just something that your past relatives had done that now you're doing too. That's it. It's not some voodoo, hoodoo, witchcraft bullshit. They make you want to seem that way. Why? So you're afraid of learning about it. There's no black magic. There's no white magic. It's just magic. And how you use it. You can use it for good. You can use it for bad. But people say, oh my God, it's black magic. So now everything that has to do with magic is cursed by the idea of it being called black magic. And that is ignorance, but it's also an intentional feed into the manipulation to get you scared so you will not learn it. Because if you understand something, you're not going to be afraid of it. Duh. It's like if you're unprepared for a test in high school and you go take the test, you're sweating the whole thing because you didn't study, because you're up drinking, smoking pot, whatever, and then you go and fail your test. But if you study for your test, even while you're drinking, you smoke pot, you get some knowledge of it, and then you went in there more confident. This is where we need to be at. I'm far from a pagan freak. Don't make me, okay, you know what? Virgo season's almost over, okay? Libra season's coming in here. My Scorpio is really kicking up, dude, and I'm really losing my niceness. And I think I'm going to start going back to some of my old attitude because I like that better to handle fools like you. Okay, dude, T. Yeah. Bye, T. You're another harasser. Time to stop. You know, it's time to step up. We've been nice for too long. These lies, these manipulations, the deceits. And we got jaw-jacking idiots on here that are just talking shit because what? They want the 5 minutes of fame because I'm going to recognize them that they're talking some shit. I'm going to hand you your ass and then get you out of my channel. Just like that. Dude, stop coming around because I'm bouncing you out of here, but you keep coming back in. How? YouTube. How are these people keep coming in when I'm blocking them and they keep coming in? So we're going to take a screenshot because YouTube doesn't like to believe me, even though they know every freaking analytic of this. I had a big old fight with YouTube about that before. So I'm coming in here bullying, talking shit, making fun of me, really being nasty. And I reported it, and YouTube's like, oh, we need screenshots. I'm like, well, the fucking live is over. I already missed it. I didn't know I had to take screenshots. So then more into this support conversation, they actually slipped up, sent me a montage of me on the live as a picture snapshot. Boom. The conversation that was going on and who did it. And I was like, YouTube, this guy's bullying me. You're seeing the offensive shit that you're saying. And you just provided me with the screenshots that you wanted me to give to you. And you say you don't control the channel, you have no idea what's going on with it? And you're now not going to do nothing about it? You know what I'm saying? So there's only some things that you could take so far before you actually have to let it go. Meaning, if you've asked for help in certain situations from different multiple people and you ain't got no help, you got to stop asking for help because apparently ain't no one going to help you. So then flipping that script to go help yourself is where you need to be at. Getting into your chart like this on Cafe Astrology, with the free natal chart, it's going to help you see those details that you weren't aware of, that you had no idea that was that deep. Woo! So believe it, my friends, these things are real, they're valid, you know, and society will demonize these things or push them away from you further, so then you're not going to understand these little things, because all this stuff is ancient knowledge. God even says, I will show you signs and miracles in what? The fucking sky. You know? So when we understand these things, we get a better whole self grip on ourselves. Like we're centering ourselves on a whole different level, because now we know a little bit more. We know something a little different. And that just is that one little puzzle piece that puts that thing together for you in place. So when you figure these things out, it's almost like you become a whole different person. Because now, like I said, you are that one more piece, that little puzzle piece here, that little puzzle piece here. It all fits in. And now you're completing yourself on a whole level. Yeah. So I had this book, Tom Brady, right? Long time ago, a bunch of years ago. TB. This dude eats nothing white. No flour, no rice, no egg whites, no nothing white. He makes an avocado ice cream. What? Okay, I thought pistachio was like pushing the limit for ice cream, but avocado ice cream? I was like, no way. The recipe's in here. And I made it, and it's actually really good. Blew me away. Because I was always on this fine line of nutrition anyways. Okay, my daughter's gluten-free. She bad with it. I'm sure I have it, but I was dumb and didn't know. And so all these years of having, good cholesterol, sugars are good. Oh, ladies, very alkaline. You know what I'm saying? So fine-tuning things. Okay, running out of things to eat, right? How many fresh fruits can you get in a day at the grocery store and try to plan it for a week? It was a disaster for me. I didn't understand it. So now I understood I had to micromanage my grocery list to narrow it down. Avocados last a certain amount of time. Boom. So now I got that, right? So that knowledge, man, it's all about this knowledge. We're feeding this knowledge. And you have to start with you. Okay? Because when you start understanding your attitude, your emotions, why things happening, not necessarily that somebody triggered you, but deep into the core of the root of things, then that's where we need to go. And society really needs to go that way, because they do say that jail is supposed to be rehabilitating, but what happens? These people get out and it's worse. So where's the rehabilitation? Where's the nanny? So now, instead of looking, our justice system really needs to go on a system of what I like they do here in Texas is when they have a cop come to your house, they also have a cop that's a psychologist. So not only are they analyzing the criminal event, but they're analyzing the emotional event. So that is a good way to get down to the root of why the hell you're doing things. Okay? People drink alcohol because they're depressed. Well, why are you depressed? Oh, my wife won't give me any sex. But why is that? And then you got to keep going until there's no more going. That is to the root. And when you could dig that deep into shit past the surface level of a problem, well, then guess what? You're not going to need the shovel anymore. Therefore, you're not going to need a drink anymore. Yeah. I had an issue like that, and I didn't know why I was feeling and wanting to do what I wanted to do in my head, but doing something else differently towards somebody. So it would seem that they wouldn't know what I wanted to do. And I wanted to hurt them real bad. I wanted to hurt this person really, really. I still do badly. So there was a chameleon side of me that I had to play to fit in, to get into that point where I could hurt this person. It was going to be a physical. And that was my Scorpio side taking over. And then you add that to some military training. I wanted to hurt this person because they hurt me. And they hurt other people. And still haven't been stopped. So because all these years have gone by and this person hasn't been fucking stopped from hurting other people, even though other people are aware of this, now it's my turn to stop this person. And it was this close, man. But the Lord said, vengeance is mine. You will not do this. I will not allow you to seek the vengeance that you seek on this person for hurting you the way they did. So then if I didn't know myself well enough, I would have kept trying. I probably would have been successful. I probably would have been in jail. Because I want to hurt this motherfucker real bad. Not for what they did to me, but for what they're doing to other people. And they still haven't been stopped. And I was at the point where I will stop you now. But the Lord stopped me. And that is a fucking fact, Jack. As soon as that door opened up, pop! I was ready. That door didn't open, did it? So sometimes we have to just let things go. Not in the sense of forgetting and all this other stuff, but in more the sense of the control. Okay? Because if things were meant to happen, they would. But if there's delays and things aren't happening, then it's not your place to make it happen. And I didn't understand that for a long time. And I beat myself up and I would hype myself up and get myself ready. And I would go over there, try to do it. And something would happen to make it not happen. So then I had to realize this is out of my hands, because the more that I keep trying to do this, the more it's not going to happen, because it's not God's will to make it happen this way. Something's going to happen to me. So I need to stop. And that is another motherfucking fact, Jack. Wow. Got lost for a minute there. Yeah. Know thyself, my friends. Knowledge is power. And that's all I'm going to leave you with. So, appreciate you being up in here. Thank you for all the hackers and hecklers up in here talking shit. USA, hit me up. And enjoy your day. Be blessed, be brave, be bold, be well. Peace and prayer every day, my friends. I will see you on the next one.